Sports. I'm Ryan Rohde, the Mean Gondo, Connor Sears, and Griffey Olsby. We're going to start with college football for Week 6. Arizona's at number 2 Oregon. Griffey, what do you think?
Well, I think that Oregon's going to have to really pick up their defense after getting absolutely thrown on last week by Washington State, which is not one of the top Pac-12 teams this year, but maybe jumping into the conversation with their performance last week.
Mean?
I like Oregon. Oregon, they're high-powered offense. Mariota, obviously, one of the best. I don't know. I say Oregon is good.
Connor?
I also agree with Amin. Oregon wins big.
Yeah, I'm thinking that Oregon's defense has to step up a lot from that WSU game. What do you guys think?
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty terrible.
Watch out for the Wildcats.
Yeah.
I believe those Cougs played well, though.
All right, let's go to Saturday. Big game. Alabama's at Ole Miss. Connor, what do you think?
Roll Tide!
Roll Tide. I don't know. The defense of Ole Miss and their running game is really going to get. We'll see what happens, but I think Alabama's up for a big test this week.
Yeah,
I think-
Blake Sims, what do you think there?
I like Blake Sims, but Bo Wallace, I think his versatility is going to make it hard for Alabama on defense.
All right, how about Arizona State's at USC?
USC played well in the game versus Stanford and then kind of stumbled a bit against Boston College, but I see them after a couple weeks getting back on the horse and taking out Arizona State.
Yeah, Steve Sarkisian at USC is nuts. It's weird.
He's a great coach, and I think he's going to help his team go to a great bowl game this year.
All right. Also highlighted Oklahoma at TCU. I think Oklahoma's going to absolutely wreck them, but what do you think? I mean,
I also have to agree with you. I say Oklahoma is big. They're high-powered offense.
got that big
Just like
quarterback,
Oregon,
too.
yeah.
All right. The big one that I see this week, number 16 Stanford is at number 8 Notre Dame. Griffey, what do you got there?
Well, this is going to be a big test for Notre Dame because they have played very many good teams early in the schedule. I feel like this is going to be telling you whether they're making it this year or they're going to stumble.
Everett Golson, a Heisman candidate this year?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Think he's going to stumble?
He's good. I believe he's going to stumble.
Connor, what do you think there?
I think he's going to stumble, and I really like Stanford. They're in a really tough division, and they're playing a lot of good teams and getting a lot of good practice.
All right. We go to number 17 LSU at number 5 Auburn. Nick Marshall just continues to impress. What do you think?
Well, I feel maybe this game is maybe more highlighted than it should because LSU really stumbled against Mississippi State, granted a good team, but I think Auburn's going to have to win.
Yeah, I think Mississippi State had a fluke game, in my opinion. I don't think they played that great.
Dak Prescott, he's a good quarterback.
Yeah, but I don't think they played that good. And LSU's defense definitely didn't step up.
LSU
At home.
LSU
At
showed.
home. He was at home.
Yeah.
All right. I wanted to do a crap pick'em this week because, everybody likes to pick crappy games. How about the Vandals taking on Texas State in Texas?
Go Vandals! Although they aren't at the Kibby Dome this week, so that'll be a struggle that the Vandals will face. However, I do believe that Idaho is going to get a big road win. It's going to be a close game, and
They've won one game all season.
You got
it's only week 6.
Texas State, great run game.
Really?
All right. Nebraska's taking on Michigan State. Michigan State looking to rebound after their opening or second week loss against Oregon. What do you think? Think they can make the playoff, or do you think that Oregon loss has hurt them?
Yeah, that definitely hurts. I think Michigan State, they played really well against Oregon, but Oregon's just, they found a way to pull it off.
I think it's going to be really tough for a Big Ten team to make it into the playoffs with one loss. Unless maybe a Pac-12 or an SEC school
Loses one
wins
late.
one or maybe 2 wins.
Yeah. All right, and the final one, big rivalry. Boise State is at Nevada. I know Boise State isn't everybody's favorite pick anymore, but what do you guys think? I watched Nevada, so.
I think Boise State is really missing Chris Peterson. He's doing a very good job at University of Washington, and I'm going to have to pick Nevada. They ended up beating the Cougars in week 2, and they played really well.
All right, let's move on to the NFL. For week 5, the Thursday night game is Minnesota at the Packers, and the only reason I highlight that is because it's the Thursday night game. Yeah, I don't like the Packers' defense this year, and Teddy Bridgewater is taking over. What do you think about the rookie from Louisville?
I think Teddy Bridgewater is going to have a rough start. He's on a team that with not very many receivers, and without AP in the run game, there's going to be a lot of pressure on him. And I don't know if he can step up to the Packers line.
What do you think, Irving?
They call him Teddy Touchdown for a reason.
Heck yeah.
It's Teddy time.
It's Teddy
He's
time.
got a great receiver in Cordell Patterson. He's got Greg Jennings. He's got targets coming off the tight end position. And I feel like they're going to be able to kind of have their way with the Packer defense because they have not played well.
Yeah, what about Matt Asiata, that rookie running back that's taking over Peterson? He's pretty good.
Yeah, I think he's filling as much as he can, filling Adrian Peterson's shoes.
Yeah, I don't know who can do that.
Yeah.
Maybe Lynch. All right. Buffalo at Detroit. The Bills, kind of surprising with DJ Manuel, but they do have Sammy Watkins. That rookie can run. Can run and catch from Clemson.
Yeah, he's a fast kid. What, 440 time?
Yeah, it's like 4-3, 4-4. I'm thinking the Lions for that game. The only reason I say the Lions is because Matt Stafford with Golden Tate, Calvin Johnson. That's a passing game that any defense should fear. Yeah, you could say Buffalo's defense is average at best.
I think Buffalo has a chance as long as EJ Manuel, he's a good quarterback and he doesn't make silly turnovers. He can't even have even one interception. He can't make any mistakes.
Yeah,
decision making is going to come down. What's it come down to that game? Because EJ Manuel can be a game manager like the Alex Smith in the past.
All right, this is a big one. Big NFC West, AFC West implications with the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Denver Broncos. Carson Palmer is coming back. That's a tough pick-em. Both defenses are good. Both offenses are pretty good. Embiid?
I don't know. I don't think Arizona has a good chance going into Denver. The Mile High Magic going on with Peyton there.
The Mile High Magic? Did you really just call it that?
I just called it that.
Connor, what do you got there?
Denver's a great team, but Arizona's 3-0 as of right now, and they're a very strong team. Denver's coming off a tough loss in Seattle, and with Carson Palmer back in the mix and great receivers, great defense, I'm going to have to pick Arizona.
You know, Patrick Peterson saying that's the no-fly zone. They're going to be tested there with all the Bronco weapons and Peyton Manning out. But it's going to be a good game, but I think Arizona wins that football.
Yeah, I mean, Arizona, they're 3-0 without Carson Palmer playing. And that's something that I think, when you're in the NFC West, a tough division that is. I mean, obviously it's not looking so tough right now with San Francisco being in the toilet, but... Well, speaking of the 49ers, Kansas City at San Francisco in the new stadium where San Francisco just can't win. Unless they're playing the Dallas Cowboys, of course. Griffey, what do you got there?
2 words, Jamal Charles. If San Francisco can shut down the run game, that's pretty much it. They're going to have to load the box with 7 or 8 guys every time to try to stop Jamal Charles because, Alex Smith isn't a bad quarterback. He's not going to win the games for Kansas City. I think they're going to have to rely heavily on the run game, which I don't think they've done enough in the season.
Yeah, I think if San Francisco doesn't fix their penalty problem, it's over. I mean, their season, if they lose before this game, and then they lose to Kansas City, and they end up 1-5 after this week, their season's over. I mean, there's no coming back from that in the NFC West. It's too tough a division with Arizona and Seattle and even St. Louis. So, all right, the Sunday night game. Cincinnati is at the New England Patriots. Andy Dalton. The Red Rifle. What do you think? You think Tom Brady's lost his muster?
I think Tom Brady has definitely lost his mojo. He can't really find any of his great receivers. They're not running very hard, and their defense is playing too much of the game. And I do like Cincinnati. I think they're an up-and-coming team in the AFC division. Andy Dalton, although he can be he can be hot and he can be not, but he's really hot right now, and I'm gonna keep running with him. I pick Cincinnati winning by at least 3 touchdowns.
I tend to disagree there. I think if you look at Tom Brady's stats, it's not that he hasn't lost the game for his team. He just hasn't performed at Tom Brady levels. He's playing well to win games, which they've won 2 games this year so far. So I feel like he can maybe get some chemistry with his weapons, and I think they'll beat the Cincinnati by a touchdown.
I think the Andy Dalton and AJ Green combination is one of the best. I don't think
Easily has to be the best. Yeah, easily has to be. I think you look at New England's defense; they're subpar, really. I mean, they are. They lost to Miami in Week 1. One loses to Ryan Tannehill. That just doesn't happen like that. I mean, and Cincinnati, Andy Dalton's twice the quarterback that I think that Ryan Tannehill is. I mean, and AJ Green is crazy, and Cincinnati's defense has gotten way better. So, all right, let's move on. Monday night, the Seahawks travel all the way to DC to take on the Redskins, who stumbled a little bit, to take on Kirk Cousins and the Washington Redskins. I'm pretty sure everybody on this panel is going to be Seahawks because they didn't. Washington's defense looks too vulnerable with Russell Wilson and Marshawn Lynch. I really think, if you look at it after watching the game Thursday night between the Giants and the Redskins, I mean, you look at it like this. Russell Wilson is a better quarterback than Eli Manning. There's no question about that. Marshawn Lynch is a better running back than any of the running backs that the Giants have. And, I mean, the wide receivers. I mean, Percy Harvin. That's all you got to say for Seattle. Him and Doug Baldwin combined is crazy.
I think if Washington wants to compete in that game, they're going to have to maintain drives. Because as long as they keep Seattle's offense off the field, they are going to have a chance.
Yeah, they have to play like San Diego did
They have to play
against Seattle.
Game manager, have your offense on the field 3 times as long as San Diego did to Seattle, and they're beating them. So it's going to be a tough Washington, but I think it's going to be a good game.
I don't think Washington has a chance, honestly. It's really hard to have a chance when you have a quarterback that can keep plays alive. Even when plays are dying down, he can scramble outside the pocket and come alive, and that's a really dangerous tool.
I think the way for Washington to win this game is if they have to have quarterback containment. If they don't contain Russell Wilson in the pocket, it's not going to happen.
That's what killed Denver.
It's a big show Monday night. Funny things happen.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins threw 4 picks in Week 4, and he's throwing against the Legion of Boom. I see Sherman getting his first pick of the year. Pick 6, that is.
Pick 6.
Sherman pick 6.
I mean, yeah, and that's a big thing for Seattle. You look at that Legion of Boom. You look at Sherman. You look at Maxwell, who already has 2 picks this year. You look at Cam Chancellor, picked off Peyton Manning in Week 4 or Week 3 against Denver. You look at, Earl Thomas causing fumbles. I mean, that's just a killer combination for a rookie quarterback and okay receivers.
What about the Giants? Giants, they started off not too hot. They won 2 straight games. They've been saying Tom Coughlin's been letting up a little bit at practice, letting them relax, letting them play a little more.
The Giants play Atlanta at MetLife Stadium, so they're at home.
I don't know.
I like Atlanta in that game. Matt Ryan and Julio Jones.
Yeah.
So it's all about Julio Jones. And Roddy White, too. If Roddy White comes back from his injury, it's going to be Atlanta's game to lose. But that Giants defense is starting to step up, even against Kirk Cousins, who isn't a bad thrower, really.
I like Giants in this. They had 4 picks against Washington, and Atlanta likes to air it out. See him getting a lot of turnovers.
Well, I like the Giants, too. I think Eli Manning's starting to find a lot more weapons.
Yeah, I mean, a new offensive coordinator, too. So, really, he's got to find that offense. All right, let's move on. Real quick, we're going to talk about the Major League Baseball playoffs upcoming. AL wild card, Oakland and Kansas City right now, and then the Mariners are 2 games out. Think the Mariners can make up 2 games in 3 nights against the Angels.
They're going to need a whole lot of help because the way they see it, they need to either win out or lose 1 and have Kansas City or Oakland lose out. So it's kind of they got to win out, but then Kansas City and Oakland can control their destiny, right?
Yeah, I think Seattle sweeps Los Angeles because the Angels have nothing else to play for.
Well, that number one.
Yeah, no.
Third match.
So, I mean, for me, I think the Angels really have nothing to play for. I don't think they're going to throw their best stuff out there. I don't. I think they're going to pull Weaver again. I know Weaver's supposed to start in that series. I don't think he's going to start. I think it's going to be Wade LeBlanc or someone like that again. I think the Mariners put out their best 3 starters, which right now isn't their best 3. I mean, Iwakuma has a 9.8 ERA, 9.86 ERA in his last 2 starts. James Paxton looks good. He's going to start in that series, and Felix got rocked by the Blue Jays. I mean, I don't know. The Mariners can win out.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah. Well, the NL West too. The Dodgers, Clayton Kershaw. I see he winning the MVP.
I see him winning MVP as well as Cy Young. Without Edwin Encarnacio, or Giancarlo Stanton rather, playing right now, finishing his season, I see Kershaw winning both.
Well, he went 8 innings in his game against the Giants.
I mean, that people can make the argument that, yes, Kershaw has had an incredible season, one of the best, but you gotta give the advantage slightly to the hitters, considering pitchers only play 5 games, once every 5 games. Hitters are out there every single day. You see a guy like Andrew McCutcheon, maybe putting up like at 335 homers. You gotta think he could be over Kershaw because he's playing every day. He's playing the field, he's hitting every day. But since there isn't one of those standout guys this year, I absolutely see Kershaw.
All right. Well, that's all that we have for you today. For Amin Gondo, Connor Sears, and Griffey Olsby, I'm Ryan Rohde. We'll see you next time.
Miss you, Jeter.